Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I'm filming as many songs as I possibly can from his new album Divide. If I've missed any, let me know in the comments of any of the songs that you want me to teach, but I'm doing a whole bunch of them. This song has a capo at first fret. You only need that capo if you're playing along to the original record. If not, it will sound absolutely fine without one, but we're going to keep it on to be accurate. And the chords we have are a G major, played with the third and little finger down, so in this fashion. An E minor 7, where we keep the third and little finger down again. Wonderwall style, if you will. This chord is used in Wonderwall. A C add 9, like this, so 1, 2, and again the third and little finger staying down, so this is like the G that we did earlier, but moved a string down with the first two fingers. And what's called a D sus4. To keep things simpler, I'm just going to shout out G, E minor, C, and then D, but I'm always going to be referring to those chords, the C, E minor 7, the C add 9, etc. I guess all the cool stuff is happening in the right hand, because we're doing a bit of finger picking here. Very simple finger picking though. And what we're going to be doing is playing the thinner 3 strings with fingers 1, 2 and 3, and we want to sit those fingers underneath each of the strings, and we're going to be plucking them all together in a very sort of small motion, plucking into your hand. But what we don't want here is any muting, so we don't want that sound. We want to try and keep those strings ringing out. And the only difference is I'm not staying on the strings. So if I stay on the strings, there is silence. Whereas if I kind of hover, that's the sound we're after. And then and then twice a bar, what we're going to do is also pluck the root note of each chord. So this is the note that gives the chord its name, G for example, and the root note's going to be on any one of the 3 thicker strings. So this is what I call the orthodox style of finger picking, where the thumb's going to move, but the first 3 fingers are going to stay absolutely still. So it's very straightforward. The tricky bit for some people, as well as just physically plucking this, may be the timing of it. This is a song that is in something called 12/8, not 4/4 time. Pretty simple. All we need to count is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to do that per chord. So that was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm tapping there on the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to hit these, the first 3 fingers, on every one of those counts, but we're only going to hit the thumb on the 1 and the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, so let's just have a go at one bar together, or a demo first of all. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, that's all we're going to do. Play together in 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Brilliant. Even slower. Let's make sure we can all get this first of all. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and thumb and 4 and Okay, let's loop that for a little bit. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keep it going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Rewind the video by 20 seconds if you need to cover that little bit again, but we're going to cover how to do this for each of the chords. So we're going for the E minor 7 next. Exactly the same strings. They're the strings that we're going to play in. String 6 with the thumb, 1, 2, 3, on strings 1, 2 and 3. And it's the same pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I just had a little bit of string noise there. kind of that sound, the fret noise I should say. If that starts to happen at all, you need to move your fingers to this side of the fret rather than this side of the fret. That's all it is. And when you play individual strings or pluck strings, that can start to be more noticeable. Okay, it starts to get a lot more noticeable. So it's really important, keep your fingers right on their tips, like this. Okay, not flat, right on the tips, and as far over that side as possible. So on the E minor chord, it is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And for the verse, it is, that's a bar for each chord. So the pattern from the top, if I just walk you through the whole verse now, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, E minor, 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can do that, you can do this song. So let's get this verse really sewn up before we move on from there. It's just slight variations of this for the rest of the song. And of course the chord sheet, if you need it, click the link in the top corner. It is on my website for free. Let's have a play of this verse together. 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a G and a change to E minor. 1 and a 2 and a thumb and a 4 and a C and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Same again from G. G and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a C. 2, 3, 4. D and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So plucking the root note 1, and that's on the C. String 5 and string 4 for the D. Okay? And then there's a pause, because we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it. So exactly the same, just a slight variation at the end of this part for the pre-chorus. This time. Okay? G and a 2 and a. The darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own. In your eyes, you're holding mine. Okay, so just that second line of the pre-chorus, G to a D. Pause at the end of that pre-chorus, and then we're into the chorus, which is exactly the same pattern, but we're only on each chord for half a bar, so 2 beats each chord, and the order has changed. So we're going to have E minor, baby I'm, to C add 9, dancing in the G, to the D sus4, E minor, C, to a G, and D. Baby, I'm dancing. Let's go for the thumb on every beat, I think, for this bit, just to kick it up a notch for the chorus. 1 and a 2 and a C and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Barefoot in the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight. If you want to just keep it once, 2 and a 3, that's totally fine as well. Entirely up to you. Let's go for the chorus from the E minor. From the top in 2, 3, 4. Baby, I'm on a 2 and a C. repeat. Arms barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. Looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling, you look perfect. Okay? And then, so that's 4 lines of the same chord sequence, and then we have this pattern. That's a G. G slash F sharp, which is put in F sharp, 2nd fret with the 1st finger, middle finger ain't down. Everything else the same. E minor, to a D, C, and then finishing on the D. 2 of each, 4 of the C. Oh, just 1 beat of each actually. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a C, D. Well, I found a woman. Okay, and then we're on to the 2nd verse. Let's go for that chorus on its own. Probably the trickiest part. If you could do the verse, this bit's going to be trickier for you, but you'll be able to do it. Follow me in 2, 3, 4. C, in the G, D. Barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. You said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling, you look perfect tonight. That's also how the song ends as well, right at the end of the song. And it would finish on a G. The bridge is exactly the same as the verse. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a E minor, C, then a D. And that's how to play perfect, basically. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any songs that I haven't taught off of Divide that you want me to. And check out the other Ed Sheeran tutorials already on my channel at Andy Guitar.